Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be looking at the second album from Crosby Stills Nash Young, entitled Deja Vu. Here we go. So this is Crosby, Stills and Nash's second album and their first with Neil Young. After splitting from their respective bands, David Crosby from the Byrds, Steve Stills from Buffalo Springfield, and Graham Nash from the Hollies, they formed their own supergroup. They released their self-titled debut album and it was well received by both critics and commercially. After the first album, they wanted to add a keyboard player and they initially asked Steve Winwood, who had played keyboards for the Spencer Davis Group. He was unable to join because he had already committed to Blind Faith. It was suggested that Neil Young take the place, and after a bit of discussion, he actually became a full member of the band. After Crosby, Stills, Nash Young played Woodstock, it was the first event that really made Neil Young a recognizable name in the music industry. And soon after that, they went into the studio and recorded their second album, Deja Vu. The production on this album is pretty slick for the time. It's very layered, and they really spent a lot of time getting the right sounds and the right textures for this album. The sound is pretty typical of the early 70s. There's not much reverb or anything like that. A lot of records in the 70s were very dry sounding. These songs don't really require a huge glossy production. They're pretty bare bones and straightforward. The things I like about this album are two things mainly. One is Neil Young's distinctive guitar tone that you hear on a lot of the electric songs. You can always tell when he's playing because he has a very distinctive guitar tone and a very distinctive style of playing. And the other thing is the three-part harmonies between David Crosby, Steve Stills, and Graham Nash. Much like Neil Young's guitar playing, when they sing together, you can really tell that that's them, and really no one else sounds like that. It's pretty amazing when you realize that they recorded that without much modulation to the voice or anything like that. It was pretty much recorded live and without the use of auto-tune or anything like that, simply because that didn't exist at the time. I think the song that defines this album also happens to be my favorite song on the album, and that's Woodstock. It was written by Joni Mitchell, but Crosby, Stills, Nash Young had the biggest hit with it. It is a song that features Neil Young's distinctive guitar playing, and the harmonies really come out on the chorus. It's a song that recounts the events at Woodstock from Joni Mitchell's perspective when actually she wasn't able to go. This version of the song is one of those songs that you hear whenever you listen to classic rock radio. Eventually you'll hear this song, but it doesn't sound that dated, and it's a really good snapshot of what was going on at the time in the late 60s and early 70s. Deja Vu is a must-have for any music fan. Even if you're not a fan of this era of music, it's a really good album to have, if just for the harmonies and the way that the voices blend together. It's really beautiful, and also that you have really three good songwriters in this band, and so the lyrics are very clever, and these guys really know how to craft a good song. So if you haven't checked out this album, I highly recommend it. So let me know what you guys think of this album in the comments. If you'd like to suggest a classic album for me to look at, please leave that in the comments as well. Be sure to subscribe so you know when I post new videos, and you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. That's about it. Take it easy.